What if I told you that one of the greatest mysteries in all of Scripture is hidden inside a chapter most people skip? A chapter filled with names, generations, ages, and deaths. At first glance, it may seem like nothing more than a family record, but hidden within these generations is a message about mortality, faith, and a man who walked so closely with me that he never tasted death. And by the end of the story, you will understand why his life still captivates believers thousands of years later. This is the record of Adam's family line. In the beginning I created mankind in my likeness. Male and female I created them. I blessed them. I gave them purpose. I gave them life. But after Eden, humanity entered a different world. A world where sin had already left its mark, a world where every generation would carry the consequences of the first rebellion. Adam lived for 130 years and fathered a son named Seth. Seth was not merely another child. He represented hope after tragedy, a continuation of the righteous line after the loss of Abel. As the years passed, Seth had children of his own. Then Enos was born, then Canaan, then Mahalaleel, then Jared. Generation followed generation. Families grew. The earth became populated. Civilization slowly expanded. Yet as these names passed through history, a haunting pattern repeated itself. Adam lived, and he died. Seth lived, and he died. Enos lived, and he died. Canaan lived, and he died. Mahalaleel lived, and he died. Jared lived, and he died. Again and again, the same ending, the same reminder, the same reality. Death had entered the human story, no matter how long a person lived. No matter how many children they had, no matter how much they achieved, every life eventually reached the same conclusion. Perhaps that is why people fear death even today, because deep within every heart is the knowledge that life on earth is temporary. People build empires, they pursue wealth, they chase success. Yet eventually every person must face the same question: what comes next? Genesis chapter 5 forces us to confront that question. Then something remarkable happens. The pattern suddenly changes. A new name appears: Enoch. At first he seems no different from the others. He was born into the same fallen world. He lived among the same people. He faced the same struggles. Yet Scripture records something unique about him. Enoch walked with me. Think about those words. Not Enoch studied, not Enoch accumulated wealth, not Enoch built a kingdom. Enoch walked with me, day after day, year after year, for 300 years, while the world around him continued to drift further away from righteousness. Enoch remained close to me. His relationship with me became the defining characteristic of his life. And then something happened that had never happened before. The pattern breaks. Every previous life ended with the same phrase, "and he died." But when Enoch's story reaches its conclusion, those words never appear. Instead, Scripture says, "Enoch walked with me, and he was not, for I took him." Pause and consider the mystery of that moment. One day Enoch was walking with me on earth. The next, he was in my presence. No funeral, no grave, no burial, no death. I took him. Even now, people continue to wonder about Enoch. What did he see? What was his experience? Why was he chosen? Scripture does not answer every question, but it reveals a profound truth. The closer someone walks with me, the more their life becomes focused on eternity rather than temporary things. Enoch became a living testimony that death does not have the final word. There is more beyond this life. There is a greater kingdom, a greater promise, and Enoch's life pointed toward that reality. But the story continues. Enoch became the father of Methuselah, a name that would become legendary. Methuselah lived longer than any other person recorded in Scripture, 969 years, longer than kings, longer than nations, longer than civilizations. Yet despite his incredible lifespan, the same reality eventually arrived. He died. Even the longest human life remains temporary. Then came Lamech, and then something significant occurred. A child was born. His father named him Noah. The name carried a message of hope. Lamech believed this child would bring comfort from the hardship and toil humanity endured because of the curse placed upon the earth. What he could not fully understand was just how important Noah would become. Because while these generations were unfolding, something else was happening beneath the surface. Humanity was growing, cities were expanding, knowledge was increasing, but so was corruption. The darkness first introduced in Eden was spreading across the world, and soon the earth would reach a point unlike anything seen before. A judgment was coming, a flood that would change human history forever, and Noah would stand at the center of it all. But before that story begins, Genesis chapter 5 leaves us with a lesson that still matters today. Every name in this genealogy represents a life. Every life represents a choice. Some lived for themselves. One chose to walk with me. And among all the names recorded in this chapter, the one remembered most clearly is not the man who lived the longest, not the man with the greatest possessions, not the man with the largest family. It is the man who walked with me. That truth remains unchanged. The greatest achievement in life is not measured by success, influence, or wealth. It is measured by the closeness of your relationship with me. Enoch understood that, and because he did, his story continues to inspire generation after generation. If this message has deepened your understanding of Scripture, subscribe to Primordial Lore and continue this journey through the greatest stories ever told. And now, continue to the next chapter, where humanity's corruption reaches a terrifying level, and a righteous man named Noah receives a warning that will change the destiny of the world forever.